Hey, it's April with Possible Diet, and today I'm going to show you how to make chili crisp noodles with spaghetti squash. Now, if you're not trying to live that low-carb life, you can make this with plain old noodles. I'm sure it'll be just as delicious. But chili crisp is like a thing on the internet right now. Like during COVID, a bunch of Asian restaurants came up with their own chili crisp. There's articles on Eater about what's the best chili crisp. I'm using the OG today, Lao Gan Ma, which I got at the 99 Ranch where I live. It is this is straight up from China. It's got MSG in it. I only use a tablespoon. It's not gonna kill me, but this is legit. It's supposedly Trader Joe's has a really good chili crisp, but they were out every time I went, so it might be sold out. I've tried making these noodles with lot sauce, which you've seen me use in other recipes, and it's not the same. There's something about the chili crisp which is also not the same as Sambal Oelek. You see this sometimes in Asian stores or on tables at Chinese places. That's not the same thing. What makes chili crisp distinctive is that there's little bits of deep fried garlic and shallots and God knows what else in here. But this is really good. And these noodles are delicious. I really love them. To pump up the veggies, I add shredded carrots and shredded red cabbage, and also mung bean sprouts, which are really good for you. I'm gonna add chicken to mine, but the basic ingredients for this chili crisp are the sauce, which I'm gonna show you how to make, and the noodles. So, if you wanna add extra green onions, you can do that, but you can literally just eat this noodles and sauce style if you're not trying to get fancy. But I always have a lot of shredded veggies in my fridge, and so I like to add whatever veggies and protein I can to this that I have available. I've had this with Vietnamese meatballs. I tweaked my meatball recipe by adding a little garlic, a little ginger, a little lemongrass, and some fish sauce. You can just eat it plain. Anyway, grilled salmon, whatever you like, it's good. So let's get started. You need a couple of special ingredients for this besides the chili crisp. You need black rice vinegar. I haven't tried this without the black rice vinegar. You might be able to use all rice vinegar and it might taste just as good, but I find that a balance of black rice vinegar and rice vinegar works really well with this. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of black rice vinegar, 2 teaspoons of regular rice vinegar, I've also heard this dish referred to as midnight noodles because you can make them in the middle of the night if you don't have a lot of ingredients, I guess. I use 2 teaspoons also of erythritol. I use the plain old white granulated erythritol. I just find that it dissolves a little bit better. You can use drops if you have the drops. I haven't tried it with the drops, but it gives it a little something, the sweetness of it, and I think it's worth it. A tablespoon of soy sauce. And then a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, which I also got at Trader Joe's, although they were out of chili crisp. And then this is the kicker, 1 heaping tablespoon of chili crisp. You can use less chili crisp if you don't like it spicy. One of the things that's wonderful about this dish is the heat and the tingling on your lips when you eat it. So just bear that in mind if you cut back on the chili crisp. Okay, and then I add the original recipe that I kind of adapted this from called for sesame seeds, but I tried this with my everything bagel seasoning and it was over the top. It was so good because the everything bagel seasoning that I make has black sesame seeds, regular sesame seeds, poppy seeds, dried onion, dried garlic, and no salt. That's very key because you already have the soy sauce in it. You don't want to add more salt to these noodles. You can find organic or salt-free everything bagel seasoning. Just make sure that it has sesame seeds in it. So I add like a heaping half tablespoon everything bagel seasoning. You can add more if you like. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I just like it a little bit more, but it might be too much for some people. And then a tablespoon of chives. If you can find garlic chives while you're at the Asian market buying your chili crisp, pick those up. Those are the kind of chives they use in pad thai, and they're slightly different from regular chives. If not, I'm just using freeze-dried chives. It's no big deal. It just adds a little green oniony flavor that you can't get any other way. So again, I try these things with and without things. I go through a lot of recipes sometimes to try and come up with something that's exactly how I want it. And this is one of those examples. And then you're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon each of fresh ginger and garlic. I'm just using my Gourmet Garden stir-in paste. What I love about, a lot of the recipes that I put up on the channel is they leave room for customization. It's not like when you're learning how to cook for yourself, when you're learning how to eat more vegetables, when you're learning how to improve your diet, don't approach it like, I don't like that, so I can't eat that. Like, what don't you like about it? Is it too salty? Is it not salty enough? Is it too sweet? Is it not sweet enough? Like, feel free to take these recipes and tailor them and make them your own. That's part of the fun of cooking. So give this a whisk. It smells so good. So proud of this recipe. I've tried adding fish sauce to this, and I left it out because if you can imagine, it was almost a little too umami. So I think that was the problem with the lot sauce, because the lot sauce is really good. I use it in a lot of things, but this allows the chili crisp to really shine. So that's your sauce, and I just pour it in to my noodles. These noodles are fresh out of the oven, so they're still warm. Give those noodles a toss so that the sauce sinks in and covers them all. This was the first time I did this. I tried it with shirataki noodles, and it was not as good. But there's something about the spaghetti squash, I think, that reminds me of pancit, which is a Filipino dish that I grew up on because I'm half Filipino. And it works. And now I think I want to try making pancit with spaghetti squash, which might be like sacrilegious. Whole world would be like, what's that white girl trying to veg up Pinoy food? But honestly, I grew up eating pancit like all the time. So it's a dish that's very close to my heart. Your noodles are going to look like that. And that's when you add in your rest of your ingredients. So I'm adding in chicken. I'm adding in, maybe like a 1/2 cup to a cup of each one of these veggies, because I like a lot of veggies. And these are kind of like my trinity is mung beans, shredded carrots, and shredded cabbage. And then it's Asian. I always add green onions. I've seen this recipe made with just green onions and a fried egg on top, if you're vegetarian. And yeah, just customize it to, you can start with fewer veggies if there's like not enough sauce veggie ratio for you. I'm one of those people who does put like 2 tablespoons of dressing on a salad because I've just gotten used to the flavor of lettuce, and I like getting high flavor lettuce with the dressing as a truly like just a light dressing. I'm a firm believer that when you have high quality whole foods, you don't need a lot of low quality processed foods to make them taste better. So, all right, that looks pretty good. Dig in. Very quick chili crisp noodles. Enjoy.